Here's the book. It doesn't get better with more lines in it, nor the novel doesn't get better with more characters in it. The book is better only when the character is deeper than the rest of 10 shallow characters. And in machine learning, that's the same. I have tried 32 different companies. I've combined them into one whole data set, and it doesn't matter because my model is overfitting. These are lessons that I've learned throughout the whole week working with 10K reports project real world financial data. So as I've already started, I've built a project which is based on 10K reports financial data of real companies from a renewable energy sector, and that has been the biggest experience of mine in machine learning so far. First of all, I was required to clean the whole data and I didn't know how, so I've learned how to actually work with cleaning, preparation and stuff in separate tabs and then upload them as separate files into repository so that I don't need to do the data inspection, clean everything and combine and melt down and stuff when it comes to main script. So I can just upload the final CSV file and work with it and have everything cleaner. The main thing that I've realized so far is that real world data is actually hard. Like it's like working with so many companies to predict one thing is so many unexpected errors can occur. One thing that I've realized is that doesn't matter how much data you have, if it doesn't solve the problem that you're trying to solve, it doesn't matter because it's gonna only create noise and it's gonna distract you. I actually alluded to it earlier in a previous video, and I still have that mistake. So this is the first lesson: is that the more data you have in real world scenarios, the more problems probably you're gonna have, and it doesn't always mean that more data is better result. In my case, didn't pan out that way. The second one is that framing the right question can and will help moving towards the right direction, as there is no way to finish a project. And ML in machine learning, working with real world data is hard because for the most part you'll need to deal with data cleaning and stuff, because the rest of the pipeline is kind of the same. In EDA, you need to make visualizations and stuff. In feature engineering, it's more of a logical thing. But from my experience, the most amount of errors one gets from data inspection stage when you need to clean these things up. So this is why when going through all the stages in a pipeline, it's very important to revise the goal where you're going, because for example, in feature engineering stage, when you are creating more features, you are merging features, you are shifting features. That's another thing that I've learned to shifting is very common technique in time series projects. I am not going to be elaborating on it now, but I've used it. Solving the problem, which is imaginary, is very different to the real world problem of a business. For example, whether a company will burn cash or not will help startups to understand if a startup is going to be existing next year, or for investors if it's appropriate for them to invest in a company, or for financial directors of a company if they are doing actually things right now, so they will have good results in the future and all these kind of things. But at the end of the day, I got lost so many times and I needed to revise the whole pipeline. Where am I going? And delete so many rows and then create new ones. But that's the lesson I've learned, is that framing the right question is kind of everything that you need to understand where you are going with the project. And also, one thing that I've realized towards the end of this project is that I was kind of feeling uh, done with the project, because at the end of the day I had so many errors. I've never done such a thing before. Its classification is time series. So basically, these two problems I was meant to be solving in two separate projects, but it turned out to be a different way. So I have spent so much time on it, and I've learned so many lessons. Yet I was kind of feeling frustrated with, because I just didn't get the results that I was expecting to get. At the end of the day, I feel that if you feel frustrated with the project that you're currently doing, that's the sign that it's about time to wrap up. To wrap up all the things, and put one foot forward and step into something new. I do believe that I can burn out, but the moment I feel frustrated and done with the project, I need to move on, because I can only burn out in case I don't see any progress and only errors. So this is the third lesson, which is frustration means that you're very close to done. These are three lessons that I've learned so far. Although they have been the most useful for me, they're not less useful lessons that I haven't mentioned about, but they are more technical, and probably I will talk about them, but later. So yes.